America's #1 soccer publication for 25 years and a proud sponsor of the Soccer America Fan Zone. By Eurosport, Fabled Soccer Traders, and by Bride, the official ball of the NCAA Soccer Championships.
Well, the fans are wet, but they're ready here in College Park, Maryland. The 1996 NCAA Men's Soccer Championship second-round action between the Maryland Terrapins and William and Mary Tribe. Dave Johnson back with my broadcast partner, Richard Broad. And indeed, the William and Mary Tribe, the Colonial Athletic Association champions this year, also the 4th seed in this NCAA Men's Soccer Championship. And certainly one of the reasons why the midfield, especially two players, Steve Jolly and Wade Barrett.
Two dynamic players. Steve Jolly and Wade Barrett have played together not only here at William and Mary, but in their club team. They're both from Virginia Beach, and they understand each other, really function very effectively in the center of the park.
And certainly Wade Barrett and Steve Jolly will have a nice option to go to on the front line. And Waughn Hughes, William and Mary's all-time leading scorer.
He's their primary option. What a player. After a brilliant sophomore year, he struggled a bit as a junior, but he's come back strong this year as a senior. He's the key guy up front for the Tribe.
All right, again, the William and Mary Tribe unbeaten in their last 17 matches, but Maryland also the hot team in the country, only one loss in their last 12. And Judah Cooks has been such a factor for Maryland in the midfield.
Judah Cooks has played everywhere in the midfield, but the key to Maryland's season, I believe, is when Sasha Surowski moved into a defensive role. There, he's been outstanding.
Talk about the scoring options for the Maryland Terrapins. Shane Doherty, Maryland's second all-time leading scorer.
Shane Doherty was here when this program was 3-14 his freshman year. He stayed with it. He's been a great leader, and this year he's been called on to do even a bit more. He's moved into a midfield spot where he's usually been up front. He's more effective coming from behind.
All right, indeed, the first meeting ever, if you can believe that, between the William and Mary Tribe and Maryland Terrapins, despite their geographical proximity. Again, the Maryland Terrapins, the ACC champs, the William and Mary Tribe, the Colonial Athletic Association champs, are coming back with the starting lineups and kickoff after these messages. Stay with us. Dave Johnson, Richard Broad, back in rainy College Park, Maryland. NCAA Men's Soccer Championship second-round action between the William and Mary Tribe and Maryland Terrapins. We take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the 4-seeded William and Mary Tribe, the only Division I team to have at least 18 wins in each of the last 3 seasons. Al Albert, the head coach, 22 consecutive winning seasons. Aiden Brown will be in goal. 3 at the back. Josh Quinter, Michael Botta is in the middle at the back, and Garrett Chittum in that midfield, as we talked about. Steve Jolly and Wade Barrett toward the front of the midfield. Jeff Dominguez sits back in the midfield. Out wide, Nilson Warley and David McGowan, and up front, Dan Zickafoose and Waughn Hughes for the William and Mary Tribe. Again, 19-2-1 this season. For the Maryland Terrapins, 9th ranked in the nation, the ACC champs under the direction of Sasha Surowski. Russell Payne will be in goal. 3 at the back, Joe Marshburn, Leo Cullen, a finalist for the MAC Award and also the Herman Trophy. R.T. Moore also at the back. In the midfield, Judah Cooks, Keith Beach, Matt Larson, and Jason Bent will be out wide. In that midfield also Stevie Armis and Shane Doherty and Pierre Vendetti toward the front for the Maryland Terrapins. The Terrapins 14-5-3. The men who will be in the middle this afternoon, Joe Manfrey, John DeGuardo, and Mark Bailey are the referee's assistants for this match. Again, the winner of this match advances to the quarterfinals to meet the winner of the George Mason St. John's match, also going on today. 54 degrees, winds out of the southwest, but there's the key stat there, Richard Broad. It is raining, and the fans have come prepared. Certainly the teams have to come prepared. How will they handle this? Because it has been raining a long time here in the Maryland area, and the field has taken on a lot of water.
Under weather conditions like this, you don't want to worry about how attractive you are. You need to play and get the ball out of your own area. If you keep the ball in the back, so many things can happen. You've got to get rid of the ball, get it forward early as possible, put the pressure on the other team. It's going to be a game of mistakes. You want to make the other team make those mistakes.
Well, Sasha Surowski also mentioned does not want to certainly concede any set plays or corner kicks to William and Mary because Wade Barrett is so dangerous on those corner kicks.
Wade Barrett can place that ball very accurately, drives it in very well. And Steve Jolly, he's not that big, but he can really jump, and he's a very dangerous header of the ball. They'll be looking for Jolly on most of their restarts with William and Mary.
We just saw Waughn Hughes. He's from this area. Senior from Washington, D.C., went to Gonzaga High School in the Washington, D.C. area. Again, College Park, just a few miles from the nation's capital.
The odd thing is a lot of people overlooked Waughn Hughes in their recruiting, and he's been a brilliant player for William and Mary. He's virtually a walk-on at William and Mary. He's been an outstanding player. Al Albert feels he has to be an All-American. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He's had a great senior season.
So William & Mary, the Tribe, getting set for this one again. They are the 4th seed. You may be wondering why they are not hosting this match. Well, William & Mary has an AstroTurf field, and of course they do not allow AstroTurf fields in the NCAA Men's Soccer Championship, so Maryland hosting this one. And the Maryland Terrapins with a brilliant crowd last week, about 2,500 for the match against James Madison, which they won in overtime, 2-1, and looks like a pretty good crowd on hand today as we look at Al Albert. And he mentioned to me that he was happy the game could be played at Maryland because still the William & Mary fans could also make it to College Park. And William & Mary, by the way, with a 3-1 win over Army last week in the first round action. We're underway. William & Mary in the green jerseys, the Maryland Terrapins in the white jerseys, and it will be a throw-in coming up here for the Maryland Terrapins.
You notice Steve Jolly drove the first ball right into the Maryland end. This is what William & Mary's going to want to do, make Maryland play in their own back end and try to force some mistakes which they can capitalize on.
Terrapins happy to have Pierre Venditti back in the starting lineup. Did not start last week against James Madison, was bothered by the flu bug, which has made its rounds around several athletic teams this time of year. It's been a really difficult fall in the East Coast. Larson sending it up the left side, but you can see the ball just goes nowhere. It just plops. This is like watching a game on a day in England, a lower division game in England, where the field just takes on the water, and it's going to be difficult for the players. Quite a challenge this afternoon. The William & Mary Tribe, Steve Jolly, but he is shut down by Leo Cullen and company, now fouled against Keith Beach. It'll be a free kick coming up for the Maryland Terrapins.
Good job by Keith Beach. I love the way he plays in the midfield. He goes up and he comes back as well. Very effective player.
Venditti, nifty little flick to try to get to Shane Doherty, but Michael Botta sorting that out in the middle. Central defender for the William & Mary Tribe. Off Steve Armas. Judah Cooks tracking back to win the ball now for the Maryland Terrapins. Armas trying to create on the soggy turf. Now Jason Bent and Armas together trying to work that far side, but it will be William & Mary with the throw-in.
Already we note a key matchup. Josh Quinter, number 11 from William & Mary, marking Pierre Venditti, who was so outstanding in the ACC championships, and since that time, especially in the second half of the season. Key matchup. If Quinter can do the job on Venditti, it opens a lot of things up for William & Mary.
And a free kick coming up now for the William & Mary Tribe. The foul called. Mr. Manfrey in the middle this afternoon. Steve Armas getting called for the foul. Of course, this is a match we eagerly anticipated just because both teams, two of the hottest teams in the country, and it's disappointing because the weather conditions, the rain had intervened, but these are the type of teams that will play through it nonetheless.
Both of these teams should do very well despite the weather conditions. They have a lot of very good athletes on both sides.
David McGowan trying to work that right side, and it'll be a throw-in coming up. As we look at Sasha Surofsky again. What a job he has done at Maryland. Inherited a program 5-12, had not been to the NCAA championship since 1986. His first year was a struggle in 1993, but since then, 3 straight appearances in the NCAA men's championship. And a throw-in now for the Maryland Terrapins. Again, the Terrapins in the white. Let's look at R.T. Moore.
Get a lot of look at him today. He's probably going to go up against Waughn Hughes a good portion of the time. Very strong, but also very agile. He's got his work cut out for him today. I think he'll be up to the task. It's important that he is.
Venditti showing for the ball, slips through to the top of the 18, but now William & Mary just trying to clear it out. Steve Jolly was sending it upfield. Matt Larson tracks back to win it. Now Judah Cooks. We talked about what a difference he has made in the Maryland midfield, and he's escorted to the turf of that midfield, and a free kick coming up.
Those two number 10s, Jolly and Cooks, will be going up against each other all afternoon.
Long ball played for Venditti. Now Joe Marshburn steps up. Jason Bent, though, caught offside, and it'll be a free kick coming up for William & Mary. Just underway from College Park. This portion of our match brought to you commercial-free by Adidas. College Soccer Weekly's presentation of the 1996 NCAA Men's Soccer Championship. Al Albert, 22 consecutive winning seasons.
He's had a brilliant career at William & Mary. In the last 5 years, he's been assisted by Seth Rowland, who was a former head coach at Bridgeport. Between them, they have 36 years of head coaching experience on the college level.
R.T. Moore under some pressure right now from Waughn Hughes. Again, William & Mary's all-time leading scorer. Moore trying to flick it back and get some help from Leo Cullen. Cullen, a finalist for the Herman Award. Now Keith Beach. Wide to Matt Larson. Sends it through, and Steve Armas was making a nice run for the Maryland Terrapins. Jason Bent putting it into space. Marshburn running after it, and there you see the conditions coming into play, and fortunately for these teams, they certainly will, as Michael Botta sends it upfield. Now Nilson Warley tracking back for William & Mary's Jason Bent goes after, be a throw-in.
It's exactly what Michael Botta has been doing and needs to do. Get the ball out of the back early. He's moved from marking back to sweeper this year. He's had a very quietly outstanding season for the Tribe. A lot of pressure will be on him and his corresponding number on the opposite side, Leo Cullen, the sweeper for Maryland today.
And both these teams trying to make it to the quarterfinals of the NCAA championship. Maryland has not been to the quarterfinals since 1969. In fact, that year they went to the championship match against San Francisco and lost. That was back when Steven Negoesco was, of course, getting his San Francisco program in its heyday. And William & Mary has not been to the quarterfinals since 1980. That was actually the farthest William & Mary had ever advanced. So now the Terrapins with a corner kick. And this is something goalkeepers are not going to enjoy this afternoon.
These are always dangerous. They're doubly so with a wet ball and the slippery conditions. Look for that second ball to come off somebody and see if one of the Maryland strikers can pounce on it.
Keith Beach sending this one. Venditti going up and punching it away. Aiden Brown, but a foul is called. Brown calling for that foul immediately after he punched it, but that's what you have to do on a day like today.
And very few keepers do it better than Aiden Brown. His father played football here, was a captain of the William & Mary team when a gentleman named Marv Levy, who you may have heard of, up in Buffalo, was the coach back in the 60s. Virtually a walk-on to this program, Aiden Brown.
Very athletic, 6'5". Steve Armis, chest trapping in the slot. Turns and fires, and it'll be a free kick coming up, or the goal kick coming up for William & Mary. Look at Steve Armis. 3 goals, 6 assists on the season, and he's another. Again, we're seeing 2 very talented midfields today. 2
of the best in the country. Maryland loads the midfield. They play sometimes as many as 6 players in the midfield when they withdraw Doherty and Armis. William & Mary, we've mentioned Barrett and Jolly, Jeff Dominguez hanging in behind them. They're very strong down the middle as well as the flanks of the midfield.
Ball does not travel very far. R.T. Moore trying to win the ball from Dan Zickerfoos. Zickerfoos scoring a goal last week in the win over Army. Pierre Venditti. Venditti now trying to create. Venditti crossing the hop, and Shane Doherty was cutting through. But again, any ball played in the box today it's going to be a tense moment for the keeper.
So unpredictable, but Aiden Brown really dominates the area. He's very, very good on crosses.
But they're having trouble on the goal kicks today, Richard. Judah Cook's coming in, 2-footed, and it'll be a free kick for William & Mary. But we've noticed that they're having trouble clearing it upfield.
Well, in these conditions, just do the best you can. You got to plod, and you got to work and scrape and scratch. It's really very difficult to play. It's a pity these 2 fine teams have to play under such adverse conditions. They're doing quite well already.
Sasha Sorofsky, again, the head coach, University of Maryland. Head coach at Hartford before coming to Maryland. Difficult ball for R.T. Moore as Michael Botta sent that one to the box. And now William & Mary trying to create, but Keith Beach ricochets off Pierre Venditti. Josh Quinter, again Quinter. And you see Steve Armis scoring down. Now Larson coming up. And William & Mary cannot clear. Pierre Venditti. Venditti turns the goal, takes the shot, and smothering is Aiden Brown.
Good save by Brown, a great shot by Venditti. He's got a powerful shot, and if you keep it low on a day like this, that ball will really skid. So look for these low shots to be particularly dangerous.
And again, they have trouble clearing. Josh Quinter sweeping it away. Now ball played into space, but here's where Maryland's defense has to be equal to the task. Leo Cullen, the pressure from Waughn Hughes of William & Mary. In William & Mary in the green jerseys, Maryland in the white. Although they probably will not stay white very long. Keith Beach applying the pressure in that midfield. Judah Cooks trying to stop the forward progress. Matt Larson from Maryland working the flank, taken down by Dan Zickerfoos from the forwards for William & Mary. Free kick coming up.
Good job by Joe Manfrey to get in there on that. It was an obvious foul by Zickerfoos. He got on it, called the foul right away. There's going to be a lot of contact in a day like this.
Good friend Joe Manfrey, one of the veterans of refereeing. Don't mean to make him sound old, but he is refereed at all levels. R.T. Moore. Pierre Venditti. Keep it in play from Maryland. David McGowan and the William & Mary defense. Josh Quinter setting it upfield. Marshburn over the back of Waughn Hughes. Rather, yes, that was Marshburn over the back of Waughn Hughes. Now Hughes trying to create. Leo Cullen getting in his way. Cullen shielding the ball. Hughes persisting. But again, the turf But as they try to clear it, they cannot. Dan Zickerfuss down McGowan. Puts it in the middle. Judah Cooks. And it goes nowhere. The ball is drowning. Ball played on now. Coming through Jolly. Jason Bent sweeps it away as Russell Payne was coming out. Now Nilson Warley for William & Mary. And it'll be a throw-in coming up for the Tribe.
You have to go after every single ball on a day like this. There's no telling the ball could skid, it could die, anything could happen. And very unpredictable. It's going to be the team that capitalizes on the unpredictable opportunities.
Jason Bent setting it upfield, another throw-in coming up for William & Mary. That's just a clearance is not necessarily a clearance, and that's what the players have to be aware of.
One thing you notice, Dave, is that Leo Cullen a couple times has not played the ball back to Russell Payne, and advisedly so. They like to use Payne to get it back to him. They're very confident in him, but a day like this, you can't afford to play the ball back to your keeper. Ball could get stuck. You'd have a lot of problems.
At that point, you're asking for trouble. On the throw-in, headed away by Leo Cullen, Wade Barrett tracking back to win the ball. Shane Doherty and Barrett going at it. Wade Barrett and Doherty continue their battle. Now RT Moore sends it upfield for Pierre Venditti. Venditti, of course, attracting a lot of attention. And again, into the midfield, Judah Cooks. Cooks just perseveres. Now Jason Bent. Handball, I think they call on Maryland, so free kick for William & Mary.
Jason Bent has tremendous speed down the flanks, but again, it's negated by this weather conditions and makes it very rough to play.
Dave Johnson, Richard Broad on College Soccer Weekly here in College Park, Maryland. Steve Jolly, the header. Now Waughn Hughes in position. Maryland won a handball. Jolly takes the shot, ricochet off the Maryland defenders. It's cleared, but not out of danger yet. Keith Beach sliding along the turf. He takes Jeff Dominguez with him, and it'll be a free kick coming up for the William & Mary Tribe.
Frustration on the part of Keith Beach that time. He's getting a little bit upset by the inability to create play. Dominguez was first to the ball. It was a legitimate call and a foul on Beach.
Dominguez, the defensive midfielder for William & Mary. Wade Barrett standing over the ball to the right.
They're going to look for Jolly most likely on this tremendous leaper.
Botta takes it. Michael Botta decides to take it.
That's no accident. Michael Botta takes all of their restarts. He really strikes a good still ball, and he scored a couple goals on restarts this year.
And ironically enough, against ACC teams, against North Carolina and North Carolina State. We are just underway here from College Park, Maryland. This portion of our College Soccer Weekly NCAA Championship match brought to you commercial-free by Eurosport. Remember our good friends at Eurosport. It's a Christmas season, and they are the fabled soccer traders, and we love Christmas fables. 1-800-934-3876. And I'd put it on speed dial this time of year. Judah Cooks searching for Pierre Venditti, but Michael Botta equal to the task at the back.
Certainly Michael Botta has controlled that back third of the defense for William & Mary. Done a good job in that respect thus far.
Jason Bent. Bent has been also bothered this week by touching the flu bug, and well, certainly these conditions don't help. Josh Quinter was all over Pierre Venditti as Larson plays it into space. And I say all over, I mean cleanly all over, but that's a matchup that continues to be one to watch today, Rich.
It is. Quinter is a very unsung hero for William & Mary. Doesn't play attractive soccer, but he's a very tough defender to beat.
Ball played into space. Zickerfuss running onto it. Zickerfuss gets around RT Moore. Whoops, forgot something. Now Moore and Zickerfuss collide. Now Venditti and Maryland. Stepping up though, Josh Quinter. And just pushed off the ball by Keith Beach. And a free kick for William & Mary.
Like what William & Mary is doing, they're just going straight through regardless of the weather. They're playing, they're putting the pressure on Maryland. Sasha Surowski has to be a little bit worried about the trend of this game thus far.
About 13 minutes in, update you quickly on a women's score. We just got to hand it to us. Santa Clara leading UConn 1-0. Russell Payne comes out, and the winner of that match advances to the championship weekend. Steve Jolly lofts one. This could be trouble. And we have a foul on William & Mary, free kick coming up for Maryland.
Steve Jolly is all over this park. I thought he'd be a key player today. He's very athletic, tremendous in the air. He's been all over over the midfield and also getting forward in the attack. Look for Steve Jolly. He's the fellow I think is going to be the most dangerous member of William & Mary's team.
Look at Russell Payne, the senior from Ellicott City, Maryland, 0.78 goals against average.
Got his work cut out for him today. He's been very good all season long, especially in the last half of the season.
We remember him so clearly from the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship game when he made so many key saves when Maryland got up 1-0. And of course, Maryland winning the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship with a 2-0 win over Virginia. Steve Armas. The flick by Doherty. Nifty little idea, but Michael Botta is there to head it away. Marshburn into space for Shane Doherty. That'll be a throw-in coming up for William & Mary. Again, the Tribe, now the Colonial Athletic Association and the CAA with 3 teams in the NCAA Championship. 2 still alive. George Mason, of course, William & Mary. James Madison lost last week to Maryland. A good year for the CAA. Some wonderful folks at that conference, so helping to organize the NCAA Men's Championship in Richmond again December 13th and 15th. And remember, some tickets still remain, so you really need to get your tickets to be a part of one of the premier events in soccer. A goal kick now for William & Mary.
It's getting so the CAA and the ACC are developing a rather heated rivalry with teams like George Mason, James Madison, William & Mary becoming national powers in the CAA. The ACC teams are starting to schedule them. It's a great competition between 2 excellent conferences.
Well, this is the first meeting, actually, ironically, between these 2 teams. Talking to Sasha Swarovski, said the one problem is William & Mary with the turf field. He doesn't want to play on the turf field down there because, of course, that's not what you play on in the championship. Matt Larson back to Judah Cooks, and Maryland trying to create. Larson again eludes the tackle from Josh Quinter. Now Larson, he is taken from behind by Wade Barrett. A free kick coming up for the Maryland Terrapins. And there you see what the players are facing this afternoon.
Adverse conditions, and Matt Larson doing very well coming forward to create this restart. Keith Beach on the ball now for Maryland. Very, very accurate server, as is Leo Cullen. I look for them to flight this ball into the far post.
Where Venditti would be one of the options. Looking at Leo Cullen. Cullen will send it, as you said, far post. That's Jason Bent who gets up for it. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for William & Mary.
William & Mary has always been a very sound team in the air. Even though they've had some small players, they get players like Charlie and McGowan who can control the air. They're tough in the aerial game. It's going to be hard to beat them that way, despite the weather conditions being adverse on the ground.
Wade Barrett showing for the ball. Now McGowan heads it into space, and Zikafus. But again, the presence of Judah Cooks deep in the midfield. Cooks sending the ball for Venditti. Can he get to it? He cannot. And watch it. He's going to slide to the Beltway here, near the nation's capital. We're in College Park, Maryland. Dave Johnson, Richard Broad. NCAA Men's Championship action, second round. In the men in the second round, Hartford, the Hawks with a 1-0 lead on Harvard in the first half. And again, Harvard riding a 16-match winning streak. Thought the Hartford Hawks were one of the surprises to get in the NCAA Championship, but they're certainly proving their mettle already in the second round. R.T. Moore on the throw-in for Maryland. William & Mary again in the dark jerseys. Jeff Dominguez trying to clear it. Wade Barrett, rather Jeff Dominguez. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Maryland. Judah Cooks. Josh Quinter again. That's been a one-on-one matchup today with Pierre Venditti. Cooks looking to throw to Venditti, and right away, Josh Quinter was right there and still is there.
They look to play into Venditti. He's the target up front, enabling them to play with several players in the middle of the park and get it forward to him. If he can occupy 2 players in the William & Mary defense, gives an advantage to Maryland elsewhere in the field.
Continues to rain here in College Park, but the crowd continues to file in. 18 minutes in. Steve Jolly heading it now. Larson. Steve Armas tracking back, and maybe a dangerous play there it is, and it'll be a free kick as he got the leg up high on McGowan. Wade Barrett standing over this.
one of the things that Sasha Surowski fears. William and Mary's restarts. Barrett, very accurate server.
Barrett back with the service. Russell Payne coming out, and he collects it. We have a foul in the box. So Steve Jolly was positioning. I think he was doing too much positioning, got called for the foul.
Pushed Judah Cooks back about 5 yards to establish his position that time.
There you see the two, Judah Cooks and
what
Steve
a battle
Jolly.
that'll be today.
Well, that was one of the things we talked to Al Albert this week. He was looking forward to some of the midfield battles. You mentioned Judah Cooks and Steve Jolly, maybe Keith Beach and Wade Barrett. And also Jeff Dominguez for William Mary against Stevie Armas of Maryland. So one of the many games within the game. R.T. Moore with authority, sending it upfield. Now a difficult situation for William and Mary, tracking back. Doherty mucking through, and that'll be a throw-in for William and Mary.
Absolutely mucking full, but once again, there's Michael Botta. He's been all over the park. Probably had more touches of the ball than anybody else. That isn't good for William Mary, but he's handled everyone without any problem.
Larson with the touch. Wade Barrett. Now Jeff Dominguez. This kicks up here Venditti. Bent making a run, but the ball just will not go. Venditti again. Wade Barrett knocking that away. Waughn Hughes and Judah Cooks. Now Cooks to Jason Bent. Bent really being followed there by Nelson Warley, the right side midfield player. Now here Venditti into space. Venditti trying to get around Josh Quinter, but Quinter denies. And Quinter will not concede the corner, but he'll concede the throw-in.
Terrific effort by Josh Quinter to prevent a corner kick. Now they could bring R.T. Moore up to take this. They're not doing it. They're electing to play it indirectly.
Jason Bent looking for Shane Doherty as he was able to bend that one. Waughn Hughes for William and Mary. Hughes and R.T. Moore, but Moore knocks it away. But Maryland under pressure in the midfield. Larson back to Armas as Hughes comes in. R.T. Moore looking for Venditti. Venditti trying to play through the mud. Instead, ends up in.
Joe Manfred letting a lot of things go that he might call otherwise, taking into account the wetness of the field and the difficult conditions. But you're looking at Venditti. He is a big, strong, powerful player, and he's going to take a toll on any player has to mark him. Josh Quinter is going to be a tired young man at the end of today's game.
Something for these players, a tremendous endurance test this afternoon. It's almost like running in sand, a field like this. And a foul from behind on William and Mary, so free kick for Maryland.
Dave, good point. You're not only your physical fitness is called into test, but your mental and emotional toughness is very, very important. I think both of these teams are emotionally very fit.
Garrett Chittum with the foul. Service to the box. Doherty trying to flick it through. Steve Armas trying to get a shot off. That is blocked by Michael Botta, the central defender, doing what he's supposed to do.
It's been all over. That was a dangerous chance for Armas, and Botta anticipated it very well and got in front of that shot.
The foul situation early in the match, and this time you do see R.T. Moore on that throw-in.
Big throw, and he can put it into the area. We're looking to see how Aiden Brown responds.
Moore, the approach, the throw-in. Headed away. Larson, though. R.T. Moore putting it back in the middle for Keith Beach. Did well with that. Now here Venditti running into space, but it'll be a goal kick. So, 22 minutes into this match, we have an official timeout on the field. No score between Maryland and William and Mary as we continue with our coverage of the 1996 NCAA Men's Soccer Championship second round action.
It was a sign, them zeros. What do they mean? 4 zeros. Then it all made sense. I was to buy me a new Mitsubishi big screen, big tube, or VCR at the big screen store. 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest, 0 till 1998. I'm obliged to my friends from above. I just wish they'd get their own Mitsubishi at the big screen store.
Kids' interests in sports are always changing.
Cool.
Fortunately, Play It Again Sports has great prices on all kinds of used equipment.
Cool.
And if their interests change altogether,
Cool.
we'll buy that used equipment.
Way cool.
Dave Johnson, Richard Broad back in College Park, Maryland. Credit the fans. They have come prepared on this rainy day at Ludwig Field. And, of course, inclement weather coming in the winter, it's important to dress in layers. And why not add a layer to your dress with the College Soccer Weekly kit from Eurosport. You can grab one of those official College Soccer Weekly t-shirts. Be great for the championship weekends. You can dress in layers and have the College Soccer Weekly hat. It's only $19.95. It's item 2525. 1-800-934-3876. Remember what your mother said, dress in layers. Now, the conditions certainly difficult today under extreme conditions in this rain. And you might think you want to get some other players involved because of the endurance problems, but actually that may not work out.
I don't think you should. The players get used to this weather, and it's very difficult for someone to come on and adjust to these conditions. That fact favors William and Mary because they do not substitute very much. They've really only used Gabe Valencia as a sub throughout most of the year. Maryland's a little deeper, subs a little more, but you run a risk of players' adjustment time getting into this game. I don't think you're going to see a lot of substitution today.
No score between William and Mary and Maryland. Again, this is a second-round match. The winner will play the winner of the George Mason St. John's match also today. We'll continue to update you on matches as we get the results to you. William and Mary in the green jerseys, the Colonial Athletic Association champions, and Maryland in the white jerseys, the Atlantic Coast Conference champions. Long ball played. And William and Mary, just as we mentioned substitutes, they've made that. Gabe Valencia is into the contest.
Well, they use him as kind of a counterbalance up front for Zigafus. Zigafus, small, scrappy player. Valencia, big player, much more aggressive, able to do some things in the air, and William and Mary might look to go to him in the air.
William and Mary Tribe continue with the pressure. Leo Cullen trying to close down the options, and he's able to do that as Jeff Dominguez is running up from his defensive midfield position. Jason Cropley, as we see another clean shirt out there, is made it into the match. He has come in for Matt Larson.
And what they've done is they've moved Jason Cropley up top, so they have 2 strikers up front and only 5 in the midfield, putting more pressure on the William Mary defense, perhaps not allowing Botta to be as free to make the clearances as he was in the first 20 minutes.
Quick restart, but you mentioned Michael Botta, and I think we mentioned him already so many times in this match. He really has been a factor and a force on defense. And a foul against William and Mary. Speaking of defense, it'll be a free kick for Maryland.
Sasha Surowski obviously feels they controlled the play in the beginning part, but weren't getting many chances. That's why they brought on Cropley, who's much more of an attacking threat than Larson is, playing in the flank position wide.
Women's match to update you on. Quarterfinal play, Santa Clara with 3 minutes left leads UConn 1-0. On the restart, Jeff Dominguez boots that away, but it'll be a throw-in coming up now for the Maryland Terrapins. Again, the winner of that Santa Clara-UConn match on the women's side advances to Santa Clara this coming weekend. Again, we'll have all the coverage on this regional sports affiliate. Check your local listings. Jason Bent on the throw-in. Michael Botta clearing it away as Judah Cooks was in the area. Now Beach sends it, and Aiden Brown is able to get onto it.
Good anticipation by Aiden Brown. He handles everything in the air. At 6'5", he's one of the most dominating goalkeepers in the air in the country.
It's the put away. But it'll be a throw-in coming up from Maryland as David McGowan was trying to track it down. Shane Doherty looking for Jason Bent. Flicks into the box. Jason Cropley was making the run, but Aiden Brown, 6'5", is able to come up with it. And Brown just a freshman for the William Mary Tribe at 6'5". It's a Tribe team that stayed healthy all year and pretty much has had the same starting lineup for just about all of its matches.
Really helps. They've been able to keep that set 11 with a 1 substitution, moving Valencia and Zigafus in and out of the lineup. It's been a big factor. Al Albert's a fine coach, and he knows he doesn't have to substitute much for this team. That's a part of his coaching that's important. Don't over-substitute, overuse your talent.
Beach to Jason Bent, but he slips, and it's cleaned up on the far side. But Nelson Warley again now. But Bent and Warley battle. Warley wins that one. Marshburn heads it down. Off Steve Jolly. It'll be a throw-in for Maryland, and the Terrapins continue the pressure.
Another good battle down the right side with Jason Bent. He's very fast, but so is Nelson Warley, who's going opposite him.
Shane Doherty trying to create some space and get the service. Looking for Venditti, but Aiden Brown is there.
Good play by Brown, and good tracking that time by Josh Quinter. Stayed right with Venditti. Couldn't get inside and nick that ball before Brown could get to it.
Portion of our match brought to you commercial free by Adidas. William & Mary in the green, Maryland in the white. The Tribe trying to form the attack. Valencia playing into space, and Cullen putting it back to his keeper, Russell Payne, and you see the slick conditions coming to play, and now Wade Barrett juggling and trying to send one. Jolly trying to get it through Judah Cooks. Cooks now coming back for Jason Cropley, does well. Doherty, Maryland trying to counterattack under adverse conditions. Michael Botta, the answer for William & Mary. Cullen now. Armis. Cropley. This is Cropley from Maryland. Botta pushing his way through. Botta coming in as Cropley. The two tangle right in front of the Maryland bench. It'll be a throw-in for the Terrapins. No foul call.
Superb play by Botta. We're seeing two very fine sweepers in this game. The fact there have been very few chances attributed to both Botta and Cullen from Maryland.
Wade Barrett. Valencia and R.T. Moore with the foul. Free kick away from Mary. Maryland thus far has had most of the possession. Most of it has been in the William & Mary defensive half of the field.
But William & Mary's defense is very well organized, and these players play hard for each other. They're always covering for each other. Great teamwork and understanding is a trademark of Al Albert's teams.
Wade Barrett playing the ball through. Jason Bent trying to keep it away from Nelson Warley. He succeeds. it'll be a throw-in coming up for William & Mary. This portion of our match brought to you commercial free by Middle State Soccer Camp. To be the best, you have to train with the best. 703-425-1749. You know, look forward to camp season when it's warm and sunny again. Waughn Hughes in the rain here at College Park for William & Mary. Joe Marshburn harassing him. Maryland organized on defense or with the numbers back. Jason Bent, Waughn Hughes trying to win the corner. And ball now out of play. It'll be a throw-in. William & Mary.
Even though William & Mary has had not much of the territorial advantage, when they get it down the attacking third, they are extremely dangerous.
David McGowan now to take the throw-in for the William & Mary Tribe. Cullen heads it away. Leo Cullen from Maryland. McGowan again on that far side. Trying to get around Leo Cullen. He is denied. And another throw-in coming up. Good look at Dave McGowan, flank midfielder for the William & Mary Tribe. Wade Barrett. And it will be a free kick coming up for Maryland.
Offsides, actually. The ball is played back by Barrett to the man who threw it in, McGowan. Maryland stepped up, caught him offsides. Very excellent defending by Maryland, paced by Leo Cullen in the back.
Steve Jolly for William & Mary, lofting it. Cullen, though, under pressure, is able to handle. Now Jolly and Cooks collide. Foul on Jolly, free kick. Ball played for Jason Cropley. And he's helped out by the conditions. Into the middle for Venditti. It's headed away. Josh Quinter, who's been shadowing Venditti all day, heads it away.
Good job by Quinter. You need to take that ball with your head, not wait for it to come to the ground where the treacherous conditions can enter into the picture.
Judah Cooks stepping up to keep it away from Wade Barrett. And it'll be a throw-in coming up for William & Mary. But that ball, so one thing, it's actually helping it keep in play on this wet day. Valencia trying to get through on the left side. It'll be a throw-in coming up once again for Maryland.
Dave Valencia provides another dimension for William & Mary. Big, strong guy, and he's good in the air. When he's on, he's really terrific. Al Albert's been bothered a little bit by his inconsistency this year, but when he plays well, he's a nice complement to Waughn Hughes up top.
Speaking of Hughes, he gets called for a foul. And he'd probably be one of the few crowd favorites here at Maryland, because Waughn Hughes from the Washington, D.C. area. Again, we're in College Park, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C., the University of Maryland, hosting this one against William & Mary. You have a final to report to you. Santa Clara has made it on the road to Santa Clara, so to speak. Santa Clara will be part of the NCAA Women's Championship weekend. They defeated UConn today 1-0. Amy Madden with the goal. So Santa Clara will take on North Carolina next week. So 2 of the 4 teams are set. We still need to sort out Maryland, the women's team in action today against Notre Dame. And now the men's team going forward. Keith Beach. Beach looking for Venditti. Missed kick by Quinter. Venditti trying to save it. And it will be a corner kick coming up for Maryland, but that's the type of play that may decide this game on this type of day.
Exactly, and earlier the ball was a little higher, so Quinter was able to head it out. This time the ball was no way he could head it out. Tried to clear it, took a skid. He didn't get a good clearance, resulting in a Maryland corner.
Keith Beach to take the corner. Beach, the sophomore from Northport, New York. Cropley and Benner inside the 6. Venditti is at the far post. R.T. Moore getting up for it. Well, the Maryland Terrapins. And cleared out by Gabe Valencia. And it will be a throw-in away from Mary. Stevie Armstrong went off Waughn Hughes. But William and Mary a chance to go up and attack as David McGowan. Wade Barrett now, always dangerous. Maryland collapsing on him. Leo Cullen. Yeah, we really are seeing, Richard, a wonderful matchup between the 2 central defenders, not on each other, but 2 showcases of central defenders. Michael Botta for William and Mary and Leo Cullen for Maryland. Here Venditti trying to elude the challenge by Jeff Dominguez. We got a handball coming up here. A free kick for William and Mary.
Dave, you're absolutely right what you said about these 2 sweepers. Michael Botta may be the most underrated player in the country. Leo Cullen is close to the best player in the country. Sasha Surowski feels he should win that Herman Award. And you're not going to get a lot of argument from this party here. I think he's a superb player. Neither of these 2 players have made a mistake yet.
Botta now with a service to the box. But Cooks goes up for the header. Jeff Dominguez puts it wide. David McGowan slipping. Armas clearing and slipping. Venditti. Here Venditti trying to get through. Ends up running by the ball as Garrett Chittum was helping out. Play on, you hear Joe Manfrey shouting Leo Cullen now to Venditti, who pretty much had Josh Quinter on his shoulder all day long. Jason Cropley trying to win the ball for the Maryland Terrapins. But Garrett Chittum instead clearing for William and Mary. Now Judah Cooks. Venditti. Waughn Hughes and Stevie Armas battle. Armas in difficult. Armas spinning around. And it'll be a throw-in for William and Mary, but Armas was like a crab, a crustacean on the ground, trying to create something. And coming in, Gabe Valencia with the tackle to poke it away. But a throw-in coming up for William Mary's that went off Leo Cullen. 34 minutes into this first half, no score. Rain-soaked Ludwig Field here at College Park, Maryland. Keith Beach looking for Venditti, but Josh Quinter was there. Jason Bent now battling with Nilson Warley. Warley for William and Mary. Again, William and Mary in the green jerseys. Waughn Hughes trying to get around Joe Marshburn. Marshburn coming back. Hughes leading his body into Marshburn, and he'll get called for the foul.
And rightfully so. Terrific job by Joe Marshburn that time. Really got in, never let Hughes get to the ball. Joe Marshburn been a very steady player for this Maryland team.
Al Albert. Again, William and Mary, the only Division I school to have 18 wins in each of its last 3 seasons. That's in some pretty impressive company.
Very steady, very consistent program. They may not get this far every single year, but they're always contenders. They're always ranked in the region. Al Albert and Seth Rowland have just done a superb job the last 5 years with the Tribe.
Dave Johnson, Richard Broad on College Soccer Weekly. Our coverage of the 1996 NCAA Men's Soccer Championship second round here at College Park. And I could say rain-soaked Ludwig Field. Maryland in the white jerseys, William and Mary in the green. Like we know today, the Maryland ticket office swamped with calls with people wondering if the game would still be played today, because in the College Park area again, we're just outside Washington, D.C. Even talk of flash floods in low-lying areas, so these are not good conditions at all.
He said swamp with cause, he really meant it.
Well, this is not a good situation. Waughn Hughes carded here for William and Mary.
We talked a little bit before how a player like Hughes would respond to this game. He's very opportunistic, but he's also very quick, and this wet conditions inhibits a player for him like him from using his quickness, and his frustration showed in getting that card in that situation.
Leo Cullen, junior from Burnsville, Minnesota, put the ball into the box. Coming out, Aiden Brown, and he is able to snare it.
Main weapon in a day like this is flighting balls in the box in the air, but it's going to be hard to get any results with Aiden Brown, 6'5", gathering it in.
Brown punting it away. Warley trying to send it up to Waughn Hughes. Now for Venditti from Cullen. Venditti and Josh Quinter. Quinter steps up, and clear to the foul on Venditti.
Talk about William and Mary, you talk about Jolly and Barrett and Hughes, but they're players like Botta we've already spoken of, and these two marking backs, Garrett Chittum and Josh Quinter, just been very consistent, and William and Mary's defense is every bit as strong as their midfield play and their front runners.
So Mike McGowan may be getting set to check in for the Maryland Terrapins. William and Mary, Wade Barrett putting a nice ball for David McGowan. McGowan, though, just as he's about to make the cross, is thwarted by the Terp, but he stays with it, gets around Armis, does make the cross, side netting, goal kick.
He couldn't have kept his feet because Steve Jolly was poised to make a run to the near post, and he'd been very dangerous if McGowan could have gotten that ball in.
So Michael McElwain will come in, and Venditti will go out, so probably Shane Doherty, we would expect, could possibly move up.
Looks like they're moving McElwain up top. He's an opportunistic type player. You can get goals just by being in the right place in the right time. But again, we do look for Doherty to come out of the midfield and push forward. He's been very quiet thus far in this game.
Judah Cooks for the Maryland Terrapins. Cooks somehow. Nice ball into space for Jason Cropley. Garrett Chittum, but now Cropley trying to weave through, and the William and Mary defense, led by Garrett Chittum, able to clear. Armis now to Beach. Now William and Mary. McGowan, but no one coming forward. Leo Cullen. Judah Cooks. And the Maryland pressure continues. Cullen up from his defensive position, looking for McElwain, who's just on with the fresh legs.
And that's why they've got him in there, to pick up those opportunistic balls. 6 minutes to go in the half. These players have been playing under very difficult conditions for a long time. This is the time when players make mistakes, and let's see if one of these front runners can capitalize.
Just about 7 minutes left here in the first half of play. Jeff Dominguez bringing one off the side boot, and a free kick coming up here for the William and Mary Tribe.
Well, again, one of these dangerous restart situations. I see Steve Jolly running to the far post. It'll probably be Barrett that'll take it, or Botta, who can drive the ball in. Looks like Barrett will go. He'll serve it, looking for Jolly, or possibly for Gabe Valencia.
Wade Barrett drills one through. That's Gabe Valencia. Valencia trying to do something. He really doesn't have the space to do it. Shane Doherty just clears it for Maryland. Now Armis, but Chittum comes up with it. Now Jolly. And it will be still in play. Again, the ball just absorbing the water. R.T. Moore. Judah Cooks. Waughn Hughes sliding through. Now Hughes, a return pass from Valencia. But there at the moment of truth, Joe Marshburn.
Great opportunity for William and Mary, and Joe Marshburn read it very, very well, and may have saved the best scoring chance of the day. Throw in by McGowan, though, undoubtedly looking for Jolly, who's stationed just behind Shane Doherty at the near post.
McGowan, as you mentioned, Jolly, the backcutter to the 6 yard. It's loose, and it's cleared by Marshburn. Loose at the 6 yard. I believe it was Marshburn who flicked it up.
It was, and boy, was that dangerous in a situation like this. The most dangerous chance of the day. Russell Payne was coming out. He didn't get to it, and that ball could have ended up easily in the back of the Maryland goal.
Nilson Warley now. Going up for it. loose. And now Marshburn clearing. Wade Barrett trying to win it back for William & Mary. Shane Doherty will get called with the foul.
Wade Barrett is the kind of player you don't notice for a long period of time, but he can come up with that magical stuff that'll create goals. You just can never take your eyes off Wade Barrett.
Service to the box. Back away. Now Wade Barrett. Wafting it for Nilson Warley. Leo Cullen intervened. Cullen now trying to clear. And it'll be a throw-in. And William & Mary, after Maryland really had most of the pressure in the half, they've had it now for the last 4 minutes or so.
And they are very opportunistic. Look for them to keep throwing the ball up to Jolly, knocking in the air to him, see if he can knock it down, and somebody can get on the end of a second ball chance created by Jolly.
We're getting Jolly near post, as you point out. You're calling it, although it goes to Leo Cullen. Coming through Dominguez, Jeff Dominguez. And it's cleared by Maryland. But, Richard, you're calling that play exactly how it's happening. They're throwing it into Jolly near post, and he's trying to get the backheader.
A great target, and he will battle for everything in there.
Waughn Hughes now. Marshburn denying Valencia, but it will be a throw-in coming up for William & Mary. So again, maybe the similar situation.
Very similar teams. I'm struck by the similarities. William & Mary's defense very solid. These marking players, Joe Marshburn and R.T. Moore, doing the job for Maryland. It's been quite a game under adverse circumstances and conditions.
They really have had to play through. So Cooks and Jolly now, he's got 3 Maryland players around him. Instead, they try to get into Gabe Valencia. And now Maryland desperately trying to win that ball in their half of midfield. Desperate is the operative word on a day like today. Nilson Warley slotting a ball into the box, but Russell Payne is able to collect it.
Good job by Russell Payne. Anytime you leave the goal area, it's dangerous. It's doubly dangerous on a day like today.
Now Payne to boot it away, and it's a good kick. Maryland Terrapins, William & Mary try. Last couple of minutes of this first half. Cropley, Keith Beach was cutting the left side. He was wide open. And now we have a foul on Maryland, so a free kick coming up for William & Mary. R.T. Moore. And now William & Mary trying to, on a quick restart, but too quick. Wade Barrett went off the back of Steve Armis, and now through midfield, Jason Cropley running onto it, but Garrett Chittum will clear. This one's still in play. Armis eludes a challenge by Wade Barrett. Armis now near post, and Aiden Brown.
Dangerous chance there. I said before we like to see the ball driven in. Armis from about 35, 40 yards out. That ball really skidded. Brown handling it very well.
Final moments here of the first half. Dave Johnson, Richard Broad here in College Park, Maryland. Our College Soccer Weekly's presentation of the 96 NCAA Men's Soccer Championship. Gabe Valencia putting a ball for Waughn Hughes. And out of play. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Maryland.
How about Leo Cullen? Just read that ever so well. Even if the ball hadn't gone out of bounds, he was there to make the play.
Throws his back to his keeper, who can pick it up, of course, because it was thrown in, not back passed in. Or back passed to him. Russell Payne. Payne really getting a great kick on that. Cropley tangling with Quinter. Cropley poking it away to try to win it back. Wade Barrett sending it forward for William & Mary. Now Marshburn. Judah Cooks. Shane Doherty. Senior for the Maryland Terrapins. The key players that helped this Maryland turnaround over the last 4 years. Doherty continues with it with about 20 seconds left in the half. Trying to get a cross off of Michael Botta. Now Michael Wayne bends it back. It's knocked down by Aiden Brown. Still alive. With seconds remaining, it'll be a corner kick with 5 seconds left. And they're not going to get it off.
Very, very close.
As McGowan bent that one back around, that's all you need to do is get it to a spot in the middle of the box, and if someone can finish, that could be the difference of the game. But instead, we have a scoreless tie after 45 minutes of play here in College Park, Maryland. We continue with our coverage of Maryland and William & Mary on this rainy day. Stay dry, we're coming back. Rainy day in Maryland. We hope for the 1996 NCAA Men's Championship weekend in Richmond. It'll be warmer this year. And, well, no matter whether it's warm or cold, we know the fans need to be there, and you need to be there. 1-800-934-3650 for the Soccer America Fan Zone VIP Fan Pack. It includes game tickets, the Fan Zone, team dinners, and bus transportation. Everything's all taken care of, even the music for you. It says we go on the road to Richmond, and that Fan Zone's a lot of fun, interactive soccer exhibits. You can try your own banana kick or bicycle kick. And Sasha Swarovski right now is not worried so much about bicycle kicks, but just a goal. He wants to get one, and so do the William and Mary Tribe. Maryland Terrapins, 14-5-3 this year. The ACC champs, William and Mary Tribe. We look at Gabe Valencia, one of the substitutions that was made in the first half by William and Mary.
The only substitution for William and Mary, and they're going with him again in the second half. He did very well coming on for Dan Zigafus about midway through the first stanza.
And Joe Manfred in the middle. I said veteran referee, not to make him sound old, but he did a very nice job to keep it going on difficult conditions. Tough to read a game like this.
The word you're looking for is experience. We won't classify Joe as old. He's just experienced. He was refereeing these games, the NCAA tournament, when I was back at George Mason. That dates both him and me, but it was really, he's done a superb job under very, very difficult conditions for the officials as well as for the players today.
But even when you were coaching, they didn't have stitches in the ball, so it advanced past that point, so it wasn't that far ago. Again, credit the fan support. They had almost 2,500 last week, which is a full house here at Liberty Field when Maryland beat James Madison. And today, not a full house, but really nice crowd considering just miserable weather here. Just outside our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. We're in College Park, Maryland. There's Russell Payne, the Maryland goalkeeper. A spot in the NCAA quarterfinals is on the line today. Maryland has not been to the quarterfinals since 1969. William and Mary there once in 1980. Maryland in the white jerseys, William and Mary in the green.
You talk about that road to Richmond. It's not a smooth road. You've got to play in all conditions. This is what makes this sport so special. You've got to do it under any circumstances. These two teams have been terrific under very, very adverse weather in the first half.
At the heat of the summer, must seem like ages ago. Randy Merkel is checked into the game for the Maryland Terrapins, Richard, so there's a substitution made at halftime by Sasha Swarovski.
Very fast player, and we'll look for him to get up and down this right flank.
Time action on the left flank as the Terrapins try to sort things out. Waughn Hughes, though, winning the ball for William Mary, trying to get by Judah Cooks and R.T. Moore. And now Moore sending it upfield for Pierre Venditti, who got a bit of a breather toward the end of the first half, but Josh Quinter didn't forget about him. He's on him. Nice flick by Shane Doherty to Jason Bent. Oh, but the water makes the tackle. That was a wonderful idea and flick by Shane Doherty. Venditti trying to trap it, control it. Doherty knifing through, take it down, play on. I thought maybe they might get the foul, but did not. Garrett Chittum was marking Shane Doherty.
Some tactical substitutions by Sasha Swarovski, bringing on Merkel on the right side, moving Bent to the left side, and now it's Doherty who's going to push up out of the midfield. They got Venditti up high once again with 6 in the midfield.
Armis doing a nice job to cruise through the midfield, and now some trouble at the back as Waughn Hughes comes through. Joe Marshburn will sort this out. William and Mary fans wanted a foul called on R.T. Moore. Marshburn sends it upfield. Squibs along the line. It'll be a throw-in coming up for William and Mary.
Interesting, another further change they've made. Instead of moving Bent to the opposite side, they're pushing him up high. Late in the season, he played a bit as a target player, as a single target against James Madison. Now he's going to be up as kind of a deep-lying midfielder to come in from the back.
Ball played to the 6-yard box, but Russell Payne is there as Gabe Valencia was lurking. He's done well with his clearances on this difficult day. Garrett Chittum plays it out of play, and it will be a throw-in coming up for Maryland.
And Steve Armas playing the left side with Jason Bent playing more in the center and coming from a deep-lying position to support Venditti.
Talking about Jason Bent, number 13 for the Maryland Terrapins. Just a freshman. Back running after the ball now. Bent just cannot get to it. Is cleared away. But Maryland, Judah Cooks. Venditti trying to lose the tackle, trying to get the call. Now Steve Jolly sends it into the middle. This is Randy Merkel, who's come on for the Maryland Terrapins. Merkel looking for Keith Beach. Beach making a run. Wade Barrett trying to sort out. There's Beach. Beach, the shot saved. Wade Brown. Here's Jason Penn. He goes down. Maryland wants a call. Play on.
First mistake made today. The two William Mary defenders came together. Botta didn't clear it. The ball popped out, and a big-time save by Aiden Brown.
So Brown making the save, and Jason Bent was trying to get the follow-up on that Keith Beach shot. And it will be Beach on the corner kick now. And you mentioned how important these corner kicks were going to be. Far post, Brown comes out and just thuds it away with both fists. Harvest now into space. Keith Beach, far post again, headed away at the back by McGowan, but he may have caught someone else's head. He is down. William & Mary now trying to work the counterattack, and McGowan is in some pain, and Russell Payne will stop it. Here we go. Here's Maryland on the attack.
This ball is nearly cleared by Botta. He doesn't get to it. Beach pounces on it, and what a play by Aiden Brown to steer that wide. Jason Bent still working to get it. Can't make it. There's no call on the penalty. I don't think there should be, but a terrific save by Aiden Brown. You need those kind of plays from your goalkeeper at this level, and Aiden Brown came up big.
And McGowan coming up big for William & Mary, heading it away on the cross from Keith Beach.
Good job by McGowan on that corner. They're bringing him off to the side. They'll play with 10 temporarily till he gets recovered, and then he'll go right back on at the first possible opportunity.
Russell Payne. We're giving a free kick, I think is what they're saying. So free kick for Russell Payne. Jason Bent. From here and Diddy, but again, the field a factor. Jeff Dominguez trying to clear it. We have a handball. And a free kick. And now, back to even strength for William & Mary as McGowan comes back into the match. Underway here in the second half. Dave Johnson, Richard Braun, College Park. NCAA men's second round action. No score between William & Mary and Maryland. And this portion of our match brought you commercial free by Adidas. Michael Botta with a thundering kick upfield. Ricochets off Valencia's cheek. Now Nilsen Worley. Back post. Moore with the clearance. Now Beach under pressure trying to clear. Jolly with a boot for William & Mary, but now Jason Bent puts it on the flank. It'll be a throw-in coming up for William & Mary.
Good clearance that time by R.T. Moore. He had to make that play to get it out of the box.
Worley now. Hear the slopping on the field. Dominguez. The foul of Jason Bent. Although Valencia was about to get onto an open ball and it played through instead of free kick.
One of the characteristics of William & Mary ever since Al Albert started coaching there 25 years ago has been their fighting spirit. They have no quit whatsoever. They'll battle you, and they're very dangerous in winning loose balls. Here's an opportunity again on this cross by Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
Needs to make more of that. He can't just drive that on goal. He would have been far better off going to the far post, looking for a second ball chance, and McGowan or Jolly could win it and knock it down. Maybe Hughes can pick that up. Wade Barrett's a better player than that. He needs to serve more accurately. I'm sure he will.
Russell Payne boots it away. Steve Jolly gets up for that header. Stevie Arm is tracking back and winning it in midfield for Maryland. Jason Bent running through. Help from Randy Merkel now. Merkel staying with it. Dominguez now falls down. And a free kick for William & Mary.
Good effort by Merkel coming down the flank. He's very, very fast, but of course his speed was negated by the treacherous weather conditions and the mud and the rain all over the field.
Well, it's been raining since last night, and this field has taken on a lot of water. Beach trying to play it through. Shane Doherty now willing it upfield. Doherty, the senior for the Maryland Terrapins, just kicking a ball that at times doesn't seem like they have air. Then Dominguez takes him out. And a free kick for Maryland.
Superb run by Shane Doherty. This is where he's most effective, coming out of the midfield. Did a great job to create this restart here.
So Beach line this up. Archie Moore, near Venditti. Far side, also Judah Cooks near the 6. Times it. Cleared. And a foul. Free kick for Maryland, top of the box. As Randy Merkel couldn't get the shot off, but he drew the foul. Quick restart. Venditti trying to create space. The shot ricochets while the corner kick coming up for Maryland.
2 good chances for Maryland that time, but both times they took too long to pull the trigger. Randy Merkel tried to set it up at the top of the box, then Venditti tried to take an extra touch that second time off the restart. I know it's difficult to get a good chance, but you need to take a shot. A poor chance is better than none at all.
Keith Beach now with the service for the Maryland Terrapins. Marshburn the header, Brown the save. Loose in the box and cleared out by William Mary. Keith Beach now. Headed away, and Waughn Hughes will try to bring it up for William and Mary. Brown making the save, far post. Now Cullen looking for Venditti. Venditti is through, but Brown is there.
Great concentration by Aiden Brown after a big-time save. I thought that shot by Beach was going to go through at the far post. Tremendous save by Aiden Brown. I can see why Al Albert really likes him.
He's already trying to follow up.
Saved by Beach and cleared just out of the line. Here's a look at it again. Low post dive by Brown. He can't hold it. An effort coming on by Doherty. Brown saves it again. And William Mary dodges a major bullet.
Still no score, though. 53 minutes in.
Superb goalkeeping by Aiden Brown at the start of this first half. Maryland needs to capitalize on those chances. You don't get that many against this William Mary defense.
Another throw-in. Merkel looking for Venditti. Josh Quinter now to Wade Barrett. This Jolly, the midfield combination. Jolly flicking it, looking for Waughn Hughes. R.T. Moore having nothing of that. Venditti's offside. And Sasha Sorowski animatedly protests.
But I think not only Venditti was offside, but Jason Bent may have been offside as well in that particular play. I know Sasha Sorowski's upset, but I think the referees had it right on that time.
Free kick. Michael Botta giving those long boots, and it goes right on goal.
That ball took off into Russell Payne, but he has his body behind it as a second shield. R.T. Moore let it go through, and Russell Payne's there to make the play.
Wave and Mary in the green, Maryland in the white. The battle to get to the NCAA quarterfinals. And on this day, it is a battle. Cullen sending it into space for Venditti, but Michael Botta's there. This one slips into the defensive third, coming through Valencia. Now Armas prevents Valencia from getting onto it. Now he wants to prevent the corner and a goal kick. Not only did he prevent the corner, actually got the goal kick.
Great effort by Steve Armas. He's been more of an attacking player in the Maryland scheme of things, but today he's had to adopt a defensive role, and he's done it very, very well.
And Steve Armas, sophomore from Germantown, Maryland. No score. William Mary, Maryland. Jolly, a piercing header upfield. Out is Payne. This portion of our College Soccer Weekly match brought to you commercial free by the Paybold Soccer Traders. 800-934-3876 for the absolutely free catalog. Put it on speed dial. Lofted for Waughn Hughes. Payne awaits.
So unpredictable where that ball's going to take off or die. You have to go after every single one. Russell Payne sorting it out, being the leader in the defense that he's been all year.
Keith Beach traps the goal kick. Now sends it through the slick midfield. Armas was trying to get onto it. Now Randy Merkel. Josh Quinter under some pressure now. It'll be a throw-in for Maryland.
we're one of the few people that are protected from the elements up here, but that wind is really a factor now. William and Mary went into the wind in the first half. Now they've got the wind at their backs, and they're getting a lot more distance on the kicks. Payne's struggling to get the ball out at his goalkeeper punch, and the wind's going to be a factor in the second half.
Just as you mentioned, how we had a gust of wind and some water in our face here, but again, we are in much better shape. A foul on William and Mary, a free kick for Maryland, and you can just look at the corner flags and see the wind whipping. Keith Beach and Leo Cullen standing over this free kick. And there's going to be a card. And Manfrey is demonstrably carding Steve Jolly.
Steve Jolly's a fierce competitor, but sometimes he lets his emotions get away from him. He's got to settle down and get the job done. He's got to channel those competitive energies in the right direction.
Just as Keith Beach about to take the kick, lofts us now. Printer falls down. Merkel is there, and so is Marshburn, but William and Mary able to come up with it.
Once again, dodging a bullet. Sasha Surowski just shakes his head, wondering when they're going to capitalize on these chances. They've had quite a few in the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Well, Chris Preheim checking into the match. Leo Cullen going out, so this is a substitution we normally don't see. Cullen going out of the match.
We see Leo Cullen checking his equipment. I'm sure he'll be back in there. I can't believe they'll want him off. It looks like he's got a little equipment adjustment that he's got to make, and a big responsibility for Chris Preheim. He's a senior. I'm sure he'll be up to the task.
Valencia trying to get onto it for William Mary. Judah Cookso, we talked about his presence in that midfield. Dominguez putting a ball for Waughn Hughes. Payne, Russell Payne, the keeper, has a read on it. Waughn Hughes keeping the pressure on. 58 minutes in this NCAA match. Again, Maryland in the white jerseys, William and Mary in the green. The winner goes to the quarterfinals next week. Preheim tested and passes. Now, Beach, nice ball for Jason Bent. He, I think, was looking to leave it off for Stevie Armas. McGowan sends one. You mentioned the wind at the back. They were able to get that ball field in a hurry, William and Mary.
I like what William and Mary's trying to do. Chris Preheim, an experienced player. He's been a solid player starter most of his career in Maryland. But he's going in and taking a big responsibility going in at sweeper here with an untested defender. William and Mary wants to get the ball in and get at him, challenge him as soon as possible.
Armas on the far side of the battle with David McGowan. And Joe Manfrey coming in the middle and cards Armas.
You have to do that to keep the game under control. Joe Manfrey wants to finish this game with 11 players on each side, and to do so, he's got to issue some yellow cards to keep the players under control. Good job. I agree with what he's doing.
The result, there will be a free kick for Maryland. So Armas actually getting carded for the extracurricular activity after the call. Keith Beach, challenged by Wade Barrett, and it'll be a throw-in coming up as that went off Wade Barrett's boot.
Maryland wants to make sure they don't have any breakdowns now and they can get Leo Cullen back on the field. I think he'll go back on for Chris Preheim. Preheim's done a fine job while he's been in here thus far.
R.T. Moore on the throw-in. Jolly trying to get ahead on it. Now Moore. Jolly will clear. Steve Jolly. Armas trying to win it from Waughn Hughes. Foul on Armas. And we're seeing some pushing and shoving going on a little bit more, as these players have to be very exhausted playing under these conditions.
Very difficult weather conditions. That time Joe Marshburn got a little tussle with Waughn Hughes. Hughes, if you may recall, had a yellow card early on in this game. Marshburn trying to incite Hughes, a little gamesmanship there. Hughes didn't buy into it.
Waughn Hughes again trying to get in position to receive the ball and trying to draw a foul. Instead, Maryland's possession. Russell Payne. Waughn Hughes, William & Mary's all-time scoring leader. 57 points this season. Doherty heading it ahead to Venditti. Venditti, now support from Randy Merkel. Merkel for Jason Beck. Nice ball. Bent now. Get far post, trapped down by Armas. Armas, but Brown is there.
Excellent positioning by Aiden Brown. Armas had a chance to go up and perhaps head that ball back across. He chose to settle and get the shot. Not a bad decision, but awfully hard to execute against William Mary's solid defense.
Up to beat that imposing 6'5" figure of Aiden Brown. And now a throw in for William Mary at the other end of the field. Waughn Hughes and Gabe Valencia getting into position in the middle of the box to receive this throw in from David McGowan. No score. See if they go with a back header for Jolly. Jolly gets ahead on it. Maryland trying to clear. Armas under pressure. Steve Jolly wins the ball. Jolly now trying to serve it. Heads by Preheim. Out comes Payne. Headed down by Valencia. And Maryland will concede the throw in.
All happens with Steve Jolly. He's a superb athlete. He'll get in and scramble and battle. He got the initial header. He got the flick. He picked up the loose ball, served it in, and the collision between Russell Payne and a couple of his teammates results in a corner for William and Mary.
And Russell Payne is being looked at as he went out. And I think we just heard Ronnie Merkel yell contact, so maybe a contact lens situation for Russell Payne, and they're checking his eye. So he went out to try to punch the ball away. So we're seeing chances at both ends of the field now.
We're seeing equipment seeming to come into play here. Russell Payne losing a contact, and earlier Leo Cullen with a problem with his boots, I believe. Be a pity if Maryland has to play without either of those two players. They played without Cullen for a while. Pity if they had to play without Payne unless they can replace the contacts. They've got a good backup keeper in Andy Kirk, freshman, been on the under-20 national team, but Russell Payne's been their guy. He's carried them through this season. They want to get him back out there.
Well, here's what happened on that play. You see Valencia going up for the header, and Payne and Merkel, I think. Yep, Merkel gets his arm into Russell Payne's eyes. You see Valencia, the ball going down, and then Maryland at that point having to clear it away. But this crowd has been absolutely wonderful in less than wonderful conditions at College Park, and Ludwig Field again has attracted many big crowds this year. They've really done a nice job promoting soccer. In fact, William & Mary, both of these programs are very good at marketing their soccer programs.
If you have a good product to market, it's not that hard. And both of these coaches, Sasha Surowski here at Maryland and Al Albert down in Williamsburg, have put good products on the field consistently for the last several years. As a result, the people are going to come out. They're going to watch good soccer. This crowd is a tribute to the University of Maryland and to both these teams.
Speaking of marketing, we're trying to spread the gospel about College Soccer Weekly, and why not? There's now a College Soccer Weekly kit. It's item 2525. Makes a great Christmas gift. You can get it from the Eurosport catalog at 1-800-934-3876. Again, for $19.95, you get the Adidas embroidered hat and the Adidas College Soccer Weekly t-shirt, all in one package. David McGowan to take the throw at Russell Payne. Apparently okay. Again, a lot of times, several times in the first half, they would throw it to Jolly, Steve Jolly, at the near post. On the throw-in. Again, they look for Jolly, but it's headed away. Keith Beach. Now Shane Doherty trying to create. Venditti making a run. Ricochets off his boot as he was trying to get a good touch on it. Chris Preheim still in the middle for Leo Cullen. Marshburn setting it upfield. Dominguez returning it, but now Beach and Barrett tangle. Jason Bent for Maryland to Judah Cooks. Cooks. Venditti. Nice header to Merkel. He chest traps it down, trying to get around Nelson Warley. Merkel and Warley battle. And William & Mary now trying to clear it for their defensive third. Valencia able to beat Joe Marshburn. In the middle, R.T. Moore. Shane Doherty now trying to collect and create. Doherty. You can see the water splashing. Merkel. Lost one for Venditti. Venditti gets the header, but Brown the save.
Great effort by Venditti. He's always dangerous, and Brown once again very well positioned. position, made the save look easy. Could have been very dangerous.
The stalemate continues. No score. Brown with that wind to his back. Able to clear. Merkel looking for help, and he finds it. Maryland clearing it upfield. Now Bent. Jason Bent. Bent putting it into a channel, but Michael Botta is there. Pressure by Keith Beach, but Botta, as always, handles the pressure. McGowan looking for Waughn Hughes, left flank. And it'll be a throw-in.
Anything, Dave, I'm starting to see a little bit of fatigue setting in with William and Mary. We mentioned before they're basically a 12-player team. They only substituted one player. Maryland's a little bit deeper, and in conditions like this, fatigue is definitely a factor. As we see Leo Cullen coming back on for Chris Freeheim. What a good job he did for those critical 10-15 minutes while Leo Cullen was out.
We're 63 minutes into this second half. The winner goes to the quarterfinals. NCAA Men's Championship action. Dave Johnson, Richard Broad from College Park. And William Mary in the green jerseys, Maryland in the white. They're like off-white on a day like today, but here's Venditti. Oh, Venditti somehow found a way to play that ball. Bent now to Merkel. Merkel creating the space, but he slipped as he tried to slot it. Jason Bent coming up with it. Bent will take the shot. It skims, but saved by Brown.
Ball really took off on the wet turf, and Aiden Brown right there as he's been all game long. Maryland's starting to take control and win a lot of these 50-50 balls. They weren't. William Mary's got to get back and start winning them.
And this one takes an amazing bounce as if it was a basketball court or maybe the turf field at William and Mary, and goes the distance. I think it was a tricky bounce because on this field not much is bounced like that today.
Ball can take off. It's so unpredictable. It's amazing. A tribute to these defenses that neither of them has allowed a goal thus far.
Judah Cooks splashing upfield to Jason Bent. Bent trying to get around defensive midfielder Jeff Dominguez. Bent lofting one. Keith Beach trying to get onto it with Josh Quinter. Poked away by Armis. Now Venditti will take a shot, and Brown the save.
And they're getting more and more chances at Brown because William and Mary's midfield is not getting back. We talked at the beginning of this game about the importance of the midfield, and Maryland's winning that battle now.
William and Mary know what to throw in. 25 minutes left. Header will be sorted out by Leo Cullen, but under pressure from Waughn Hughes. Marshburn trying to get it upfield. He's going to need help. He gets it from Armis. Now Judah Cooks. Josh Quinter. Cooks, with that amazing leg strength, has really been able to play through and actually dribble through this.
If you'd asked Judah Cooks, he wouldn't even know it's raining the way he's played. He's so strong and powerful.
R.T. Moore shielding Gabe Valencia from the ball. William Mary keeping the pressure up. Steve Armis responding. Marshburn. But William Mary still in possession. Doherty in the middle, trying to work it wide to Jason Bent. Bent now looking for Venditti. Venditti slipping down. Venditti stays with it. Now Brown is there.
Pierre Venditti really causing problems for the William and Mary defense. He's so strong and he wears down defenders. We saw it in the ACC championships. We've seen it in the second half of the season. He's really a force.
Brown just a freshman keeper, but he's had the answers today. So the challenge is Merkel forcing his way upfield. Michael Botta clears it right to Sasha Sorowski, the Maryland coach, who makes the trap, and that'll be a throw-in. Coming up. But first, an official timeout on the field. No score between William and Mary and Maryland. This is the second round of the 1996 NCAA Men's Soccer Championship. We're coming back with more from College Park. Keep your rain slicker. Maryland NCAA Men's Championship second round action. No score between William and Mary and Maryland. The women have already made it to the quarterfinals. In fact, we already have one semifinal set. Santa Clara defeating Connecticut today, 1-0. So it'll be North Carolina and Santa Clara, one of the pairings next week at Santa Clara.
Boy, that should be a great one. Earlier in the year, UNC won in the very last minute with a goal by Debbie Keller to beat Santa Clara 1-0. A great rematch.
And Notre Dame leading Maryland 2-0 at halftime. The winner of that match will meet the winner of the Portland-Nebraska match. Shea Doherty trying to come through. Garrett Chinham was marking him right on Joe Manfred. Making the call. The referee this afternoon. Aiden Brown, by the way, has had to make 13 saves this afternoon. That's a career high. So again, we were talking about how Maryland has had more of the quality chances, and it's backed up by the stats. And in fact, Maryland getting 15 shots total today on William and Mary, and that's the most they've allowed all year.
The William Mary defense very, very well organized.
But despite the weather conditions, still to be able to do that, credit to the Maryland Terrapins, and of course, with the score 0-0, credit, as you pointed out, to the William and Mary defense. Steve Jolly, Nelson Warley, the offense trying to create, but Leo Cullen, the rock-steady central defender, just clears it away from Maryland. Want to throw in William and Mary.
Boy, Sasha Surowski, I'm sure he's glad to have Leo Cullen back out there. What a fine player he's been all year long.
Again, finalist for the Herman Trophy. And now, Wade Barrett eludes two challenges, but Judah Cooks the third, and it will be a corner kick for William and Mary.
Great play by Cooks, because that's what Barrett can do. He can explode from nowhere, and he had Waughn Hughes at the 6 in very dangerous position. Fine play by Judah Cooks.
Nelson Warley to take the corner kick for the William and Mary Tribe. See the corner flag that when we talked about. In fact, he cannot even get the ball to stay in position. You see the balls behind him, the extra ones. The dish is less than ideal. They go far post. And no one able to get a head on it, and it's a goal kick, Maryland.
Once again, the man they go to is Steve Jolly, always looking for him on all their restarts.
Jolly, the senior from Virginia Beach. There's Russell Payne, a senior from Maryland, from Ellicott City, Maryland.
When we took the break, William and Mary was showing signs of fatigue. That little intermission may have given them a chance to get their second legs. They're coming out here strong. Maryland was really starting to take the play from them in the last 10 minutes previous to the break.
Judah Cooks, or rather Jason Bent, now Judah Cooks. Benditti playing it ahead to Doherty with Michael Botta. The wind, it's possible, seems like it's picking up. When a day like this, you expect it can't get much worse, it seems to. Offside, Waughn Hughes. There'll be a free kick for Maryland.
Frustrating wet day for Waughn Hughes out there, just when he seems to get a chance. Trapped offside, ball doesn't get there, but you can't take your eyes off Waughn Hughes. He can hurt you anytime.
Dave Johnson, Richard Broad in College Park for this NCAA men's second round match. And again, we were looking forward to this one, and have to be impressed with the way these teams have played through. Venditti, Jason Bent getting a header. Merkel trying to slide through. Now Keith Beach can't get a shot off. Armis collects the ball, keeps it away from Wade Barrett. Puts it into space. Cooks barreling through. Dominguez marking him. Now Cooks trying to create. And amazingly, he seems to have been able to dribble through this surface today. Keith Beach now. Far side, Venditti can't get the header on goal. The ball just sits there, and now stepping up, Joe Marshburn. Markle to Jason Bent. Manny Merkel now. Bent and Merkel working. Bent tripped up by Garrett Chinham. Now they say goal kick.
Good no call that time. Bent just took a little dive outside the box. Garrett Chinham did his job. Right call again by Joe Manfred, who's really been on top of this game.
To Jason Bent. Michael Botta with those thundering kicks. Dominguez stepping up on Bent. But R.T. Moore winning the header. William and Mary. Moore putting the pressure on Wade Barrett. Barrett putting it on the flank for David McGowan, but Leo Cullen is there. on the far side, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for William and Mary. Plenty of time left, but still no score. And McGowan for William and Mary. And again, they look for Steve Jolly, the backhander, Waughn Hughes, into the net, into the net, into the net, oh, into the net, a goal, William and Mary.
You can never take your eyes off Waughn Hughes. He's had to struggle all day long, but he's there at the right time, and that's a big, big goal for the Tribe.
Waughn Hughes, William and Mary's all-time scoring leader, with the dramatic header off the Steve Jolly backhander.
And Steve Jolly's a warrior. This is his kind of day. They've been going to him all day long, and his flick header found Hughes, and he didn't make any mistake.
Maryland now. Match going some 70 minutes without any goals. Now Maryland has to try to come back. We see the replay. It started on the McGowan throw-in.
McGowan's throwing, and here's Jolly. They didn't quite get to him. He flicks it on, and Hughes, the opportunist that he is, heads it past Russell Payne, and William Mary's got a goal that's going to be hard for Maryland to make up for.
And it's ironic, that's the game of soccer. We were just commenting on how many chances Maryland was getting. And William and Mary taking advantage of their chance. And now, Wade Barrett. Merkel for the Terrapins. Doherty trying to play through. Garrett Chittum stopping him.
No quit in Maryland. They were down about the same time in their game in the opening round against Madison. They gave up a goal about 17, 18 minutes left. Looked like they were in trouble. They came back. Doherty got an equalizer, and Armas won in overtime. But it's different conditions against a very experienced, poised William Mary team. Herculean task for Maryland in these last 16 minutes.
Michael Botta, speaking of Herculean task, he's been so strong in the middle today. And now the service. Russell Payne, some trouble with it, and it's on the line, into the net, into the net, oh, it's in the net, unbelievable.
The most dangerous time in a game is the moment right after a goal has been scored. And Maryland, frustrated by the previous goal, for the first time showing some disorganization as Botta drives this ball. Payne starts to come out, a little bit of hesitation. Looks like R.T. Moore lets it go. Russell Payne expecting him to clear it. He doesn't, and the ball ends up in the back of the Maryland goal.
And that's just Botta.
It's goal for Michael Botta, and isn't that justice there? Michael Botta has been superb in the back, gets a goal as the ball skids past Russell Payne. 2-0 lead's going to be almost insurmountable.
Well, Michael Botta has now scored 3 goals this year on free kicks, but probably never one from that far out. Maryland now down 2-0. And a stunning turn of events here. Some 75 minutes into this match.
And even though it looks difficult, Maryland's got to settle down now. That second goal was so big. And William Mary with that veteran poise. They were under duress much of the second half. Brown getting the job done and just taking advantages. William and Mary is so opportunistic. They've always been that way under Al Albert, and they're certainly having it pay off today.
Gabe Valencia checks out. Dan Zuckerfuss checks in. And Maryland absorbing the pressure right now as well as the rain. With some 14 minutes left of this match. So William and Mary with 2 sudden goals here in the second half to take a 2-0 lead on the Maryland Terrapins. Give William and Mary the 4th seed in this NCAA Men's Championship. Off Marshburn, and it will be a throw-in coming up. Nelson Warley on the throw-in. And a throw-in now coming up for the Maryland Terrapins, but a tough place for the throw-in. This portion of our College Soccer Weekly match brought Brought to you commercial-free by Middle State Soccer Camp. To be the best, you have to train with them. 703-425-1749. Shane Doherty trying to win the ball at midfield, and that's cleared into the stands by Steve Jolly.
The thing about a William and Mary team is they don't always look pretty, but they have great fighting spirit, great harmony in their team, and they always battle you and do the job whatever it takes, and they're doing it today.
Free kick for Maryland as they try to do what on a day like today would seem to be the impossible, get 2 goals back. Well, they've had so many chances, they need to create even more now. Leo Cullen. Jason Bent trying to flick it. They're trying to get it to Venditti. I think the flag was up. Play on, and now they stop. The flag was up.
Was up. Pierre Venditti offside. That time Maryland brought everybody into the box except for Leo Cullen taking the kick and Russell Payne. 9 players on the end of that ball. They are really scrambling to get one back.
Look at Aiden Brown, who takes a lot of credit. 13 saves today. For William and Mary. Waughn Hughes offside. And a free kick for Maryland. Hughes playing close to home today. Went to Gonzaga High School nearby Washington, D.C. We're in College Park, Maryland. Dave Johnson, Richard Broad for this NCAA second-round match. The winner plays the winner of the George Mason St. John's match. Also going on today. In fact, all NCAA men's second-round matches being played today. Maryland trying to create. Venditti making a run, but Brown is there.
As he's been all day long. Great serve by Keith Beach. He's really working hard in the midfield. And did he just a half a step too late for that ball.
R.T. Moore. Armas battling with David McGowan for William and Mary. Armas gets called for the foul. Free kick now. We look at the Maryland bench, all standing. Only 1 loss in the last 12 matches. Michael Botta. It's almost his distance on the near side that he scored from on a amazing ball that, of course, on a day like today just didn't get cleared, and he was able to get that second goal. That maybe enough to put William and Mary through to the NCAA quarterfinals. Randy Merkel. Marshburn thunders it ahead. Judah Cook's forcing his way through. Now Venditti, a foul, top of the box, and a free kick for Maryland.
And this is very dangerous. William and Mary's going to bring everybody back into the wall this time. Keith Beach on the ball. This is the most dangerous restart that Maryland's had. Look for Beach to try to curve this ball around the wall. He's got a big target to beat in Aiden Brown.
William Mary lining him up. Beach, the shot, Brown the save. Armas comes through, it's blocked by Zickenfus. Now Beach again, and denied by the William Mary defense. And now Merkel fouled from behind by Warley. And a free kick. And now Joe Manfrey is going to card Josh Quinter. Free kick for Maryland.
Once again, with Leo Cullen serving it, they've got everybody into that box. Look for them to go to R.T. Moore at the far post. He's the best header on the team.
Cullen, far post, goes back behind R.T. Moore, as you called it. And now Maryland. 10 minutes left, down 2-0. Merkel sending it upfield. Keith Beach for the Terrapins. And now he and Zickenfus into the mud. Doherty scoops it up, literally. Trying to somehow get some advantage on this turf. Jason Bent. Some human pinballs. William Mary resolute in the defense now. Leo Cullen stepping up. Serving, looking for Judah Cooks, headed away by Steve Jolly. defense. But look at Cooks. Judah Cooks. Cooks still with it. The shot and the ricochet now will give Nelson Worley reason for concern. Dominguez trying to clear it. Dominguez sliding through. And a foul on Maryland. Free kick, William & Mary.
Tremendous pressure by Maryland as they've done all game long. Just that brief interlude where they gave up those 2 goals. They had the pressure on William & Mary. But Steve Jolly with a key header to clear that ball out to thwart that Maryland chance.
Free kick will be issued, but an injured player for William & Mary. On the far side, maybe McGowan. It is David McGowan, so the trainer will tend to him. Again, winner advances to the NCAA quarterfinals. It appears it'll be William & Mary at this point, but still 9 minutes left. And I mean, obviously, as we saw with the Michael Botta free kick, anything could happen when with 9 minutes you have to play on this field. But William & Mary certainly in control. And again, we're on the road to Richmond with the men. December 13th and 15th, the NCAA Men's Championships in Richmond. And of course, next week, check your local listings. We have coverage of the semifinals and the championship game on the women's side from Santa Clara, California.
Al Albert doesn't want to have to take Dave McGowan out, but he's doing so. He's bringing in Gabe Valencia and moving Dan Zigafus back to that wing position. The thing they lose by taking out McGowan is his size and his ability in the air. And as we've seen, Maryland's going to try to flight some balls into the box to see if they can knock some down and maybe get some opportunistic chances like William & Mary had to get their first goal.
So McGowan goes off for William & Mary. As we look at Michael Botta, scored the second goal on a free kick. What would you say the free kick? About 40 yards out? I'm trying to remember now, but it was a great distance.
Botta about 50 or 55 yards out.
Across midfield. Botta again showing his strength, but Russell Payne. Michael Botta, Waughn Hughes, the goal scorers for William & Mary. And William & Mary, the Colonial Athletic Association champions. Maryland, the Atlantic Coast Conference champions. Dave Johnson, Richard Broad here in College Park, Maryland. And this would be the end of the ACC's NCAA championship run. Of course, Virginia eliminated last week, and Maryland could not come back.
That's the way it is in the tournament. There's no forgiveness. You can't make many mistakes. And whenever William & Mary's defense is let down today, Aiden Brown's been there to cover him.
Jason Fent putting a nice ball into space for Shane Doherty. Doherty working hard. Doherty somehow skillfully coming up with that ball. And then able to put it to Randy Merkel. The cross, far post. Jason Fent going after it. We have a whistle. Free kick, William & Mary.
Superb effort by Shane Doherty, and what a player he's been throughout his Maryland career. He doesn't want it to end now, and he's doing everything he can to keep the Terrapins alive.
Again, an emotional day for Shane Doherty. His senior season came to this Maryland program where they won 3 games in his first year, and this is their 3rd straight NCAA championship. Joe Marshburn. Monchley getting the header. Now Beach for Venditti. Venditti now. Trying to get around Josh Quinter, but that's Quinter's assignment all day, and he's handled it well.
Indeed he has. He's had a superb game against a great player, Pierre Venditti. There he is again, winning that critical header.
Marshburn stepping up into the play. Leo Cullen. Cullen. In that soaked center of the field. Archie Moore forcing his way. Armas. Somehow the legs for Maryland. Now Judah Cooks and Steve Jolly. Jolly clearing just as Cooks seemingly was about to put it through.
Wherever you need him, Steve Jolly will get there. Terrific save of a goal, I'm sure, by Jolly.
Cooks trying to make the turn. Now Waughn Hughes sends it upfield. This is now a race that Russell Payne will make sure he wins. Jason Bent trying to control it. Nelson Worley streaking through. Free kick for William & Mary. Foul on Maryland. As Nelson Worley at the end of that tackle.
Had a great game, Nelson Worley, going up against Jason Fent with that tremendous speed, and Worley's just been terrific all day long.
Randy Randy Merkel, the injured Maryland player. St. John's is through to the quarterfinals. The Red Storm defeating George Mason today, 2-1. So it'll be perhaps William and Mary meeting St. John's next week. Hartford defeating, no, this first overtime, but Hartford leading Harvard 3-1. So the Hawks continue. No score between Florida International and Rutgers. Notre Dame and UNC Charlotte, no score in that one at the half. And Indiana with a 1-0 lead on Bowling Green. And Randy Merkel helped off to the field with 6.5 minutes left. Free kick for William and Mary. Botta again, offside flags up. Maryland worked the trap.
Did it very well, and that was Steve Jolly going up to try to win it, see if he could even get a third goal. Now he's going all the way back in the defense. He's had a marvelous game, has Steve Jolly today.
Gabe Valencia back in for Dan Zickerfus. Valencia trying to work the flank. And it'll be a goal kick for Maryland. 83 minutes in. Al Albert trying to guide his William and Mary tribe back to the NCAA quarterfinals for the first time in 16 years. Stevie Armis trying to win the header from Steve Jolly. Hasn't lost many in the air today. R.T. Moore under pressure. Wade Barrett. In the middle, Joe Marshburn. Beach. Maryland trying to create instead. Nelson Warley. Leo Cullen. Maryland. Jason Cropley's into the match for the Terrapins. He showed for that ball, but instead, Valencia poked away by R.T. Moore for Maryland. Judah Cooks. Right to Steve Jolly. Right to Steve Armis. Cropley trying to get around the William and Mary defense. It'll be a throw-in coming up. Cropley with 8 goals on the season, a reserve role for Maryland.
Tremendous understanding in this William and Mary defense. Botta goes out. Chittum comes in to cover him. Jeff Dominguez has dropped in their defensive midfield role today. They've just been so well functioning together as a unit.
Keith Beach now serving it for Shea Doherty. Brown is out. He bobbles it. Doherty bends it back. It's blocked. But I think they're going to say handball at Doherty.
But even in that situation, probably the first mistake that Aiden Brown's made today, and there are 2 defenders there. Quinter there, Worley there to cover for him. There's just such tremendous understanding. This is one of the things that Al Alberts talked about with his team. He said the biggest things he had to do is get out of these players' way and just let them play because they're such spirited competitors.
Leo Cullen turning wide, Hughes around. Maryland in the white jerseys. William and Mary the green. Maryland somehow trying to rally, down by 2 goals now with under 4 minutes left. And they have had their chances. Aiden Brown now up for around 14 saves. Jason Bent coming out as Brown. He's caught out. It's wide. The header by R.T. Moore wide. Jason Cropley.
So close. Jason Cropley. Brown did not get there. Cropley heads it just wide, and it's just been that frustrating an afternoon for Maryland. Here it is, Bent winning the ball in the individual battle, serving a great ball all the way to the far post. Aiden Brown trying to come forward, can't get there, and the header by Cropley just wide of the post.
So even when Aiden Brown seems beaten, he's not on this day.
Great help from his defense. It's been a marvelous team defense as well as individual brilliance by Brown.
Waughn Hughes now for William and Mary. They lead 2-0. Under 3 minutes left. Wade Barrett playing a ball through for McGowan. Here comes McGowan, lofted over Russell Payne. Into the net! Into the net! Into the net! David McGowan!
Just a great goal by McGowan to seal this one up, and a frustrated Russell Payne can do nothing but look on. The ball was served ahead by Hughes. McGowan picks his head up, chips the ball over Payne. Very difficult difficult thing to do, and he does it ever so well. Slicing that ball over Payne. Payne has to come out, and just a splendid goal by McGowan. What can you say about the Tribe? They've done what they had to today.
Maryland now down 3-0. Jason Bent. Bent to the 6-yard box. Cropley. Jason Cropley.
No quit in this Maryland team, and the way these players have fought against difficult conditions, and even when they've been behind, is a great tribute to Shasho Sharovsky. The Maryland players have just fought and battled. There it looks like they're going to go down to defeat in very, very difficult conditions, but there's no shame in this. They've had a marvelous season.
And Waughn Hughes checking out of the game, and he will come over to the near side here. A lot of William & Mary fans have made the trip to College Park. And the crowd has been wonderful today, both the Maryland and William & Mary fans. We go back to live action. Pierre Venditti gets called for the foul, probably on Josh Quinter. And Joe Manfrey trying to sort this out on the far side. And they need to bring the trainer on. And now, in frustration, Joe Manfrey wanting to separate the teams. So a collision away from... And Manfrey and the officials is just separating the teams as he rightfully should and let the emotions cool.
He has done a tremendous job of controlling a very difficult game, a very emotional game. And that last situation, what it looked like to me was Pierre Venditti took a swing, took an elbow at Josh Quinter off the ball. If he did, he's going to receive a red card, as he is indeed getting from Joe Manfrey. Venditti is already off the field. He knew he did it. It's a shame to have the game marred by this kind of incident. Josh Quinter has been a tremendous player for William & Mary. He's done a great job marking Venditti. Obviously, Venditti's frustration caused him to throw the elbow. No cause for that. Just a shame that had to happen, but Josh Quinter has just earned the red badge of courage for his effort. He didn't want it in this kind of circumstances, but what a fine job he's done. It's just a shame that it had to get out of hand in that fashion. Properly awarded red card from Joe Manfrey.
3-0. Maryland Terrapins down to 10 men. A free kick as Pierre Venditti red carded. As Josh Quinter, respectfully the recipient of an elbow. Again, those two have been matched up one-on-one all day long. Minute and a half.